No, Biden's not done a bad job. Why do you think he has? What's so awful?
So when Trump was becoming 2016, when he was going to be president, everybody said World War III is going to get started. Do you trust him with the nuclear button? What if he starts this? What if he starts that? Everybody's like, oh my God, end of the world, war is coming. Everybody was worried about it. This guy's going to be a dictator. That's all mainstream media ever talked about. Then he's president, 2.5 years, nothing. COVID then happens, of course, things change. It was a surprise to everybody. Zero wars, zero issues, ISIS disappears, temperature for war is down, economy's doing well, everybody's happy. COVID happens, rather than choosing to, put the onus and the responsibility on China, what do? We put it on Trump. Trump's the enemy. Then America gets more and more and more divided. When 9/11 happened, we didn't say it's Bush's fault. We said 9/11, except for Michael Moore. When 9/11 happened, we didn't say it's Bush's fault. 9/11 happened, we said, the enemy's out, America united. So I think we had an opportunity to be united during COVID. I think we missed the mark by picking on that guy. And then it was, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, I'm supposed to hate you. And then there was division. Then Biden gets elected, and everyone's like, this guy's gonna be the president of peace. Really? Yeah, okay, cool, let's see. He's gonna be the one that's gonna bring peace. Shambles with Afghanistan. Then you got Ukraine and Russia. Then you got Israel and Hamas.
Okay, I get it. You're on the red team. I don't have a team like that.
It's not about the red team.
It really is, because it's like, it's so easy to pick apart Afghanistan. I feel like that's such a bullshit one. Yeah, did they stick the landing? No, they didn't. They did not stick the landing on Afghanistan. I'm not 1,000,000% sure that it would have gone differently, however they did it, whoever did it. But no, probably somebody could have done it in a more efficient way. What I know is he was the one who had the guts to do it, which needed to be done. Nobody else would rip off the Band-Aid. But it just in general, these sort of like...
Trump was going to do it in May, and he was going to do it in a different way. So let me ask a question a different way with you.
Okay, but this rosy picture of Trump that you paint, again, I don't know why it has to be so red team, blue team. I'll give you that the worst things that could have happened under Trump did not. You're right. He did not nuke a hurricane as he once proposed or thought about. That alone should be scary enough that he considered it. There are good people around him. I'm glad there's good people around him who will convince him that you can't nuke a hurricane. But that is the kind of stable genius you think was a good president or you want back there. That doesn't keep you up at night. So, did he do that? No. Doesn't mean he wouldn't in the future. He's insane in a lot of ways, truly insane. And yes, the economy, not a hard thing to do if you do that kind of Republican, tax slashing of the richest. It does put a lot of money in society. Of course, they get most of it back. But Biden's the one who had the harder job, which was making sure the economy didn't crash after the pandemic, which I thought it would. I said, how can you spend $6 trillion, more than we spent on World War II, in just a couple of years? And soft landing, I mean, I could give you the stats, but if Trump was president, you don't think he would be bragging about this economy? You don't think he would be bragging about those numbers?
It's interesting.
The stock market, the unemployment level, inflation going down.
I think.
Isn't that all true?
I think.
Well, you're such a politician. You can't just answer the question.
No, I think your voice became so big the last 3 years, and I think you've gotten so many things on that you have a massive Republican and conservative and libertarian listeners.
I
massive.
know, because, you're right.
Why do you think, though? Why do you think that is?
Because I call out the left on their bullshit.
Which bullshit?
The left?
No, I know, but what part of the bullshit? I agree.
Oh,
So, the whole thing you said, by the next 20 years, we're all going to be gay. That one thing they did that went by, that was phenomenal, right?
Yes.
You gave out stats. It was data-driven, 0.07%
Well,
traditional,
I mean,
all this stuff.
that was a joke at the beginning of it.
But then you said...
no, of course, I understand what you're talking about. It was about the trendiness that there is why you're asking me why they like me. I'll tell you why. Because take an issue like that. There is a sensible answer there that is not what either side is saying, which is that trans is, of course, a real thing. Some people are just born and they feel like not like the body they have, put it that way. And that's a real thing. And they should be allowed to enjoy a great life with no judgment and support and sometimes actual surgery, if that's your choice. I'm a libertarian. Do what you want with your body, as long as it doesn't hurt somebody else. And there's an element now that is also trendy. Both things are true. But of course, if you say that, you don't have a team. And I don't want either one of those fucking teams. That's why
but by the way, so libertarian.
But that's the truth. It's somewhat trendy.
Yeah.
Kids are just doing it sometimes because the grossest thing to be would be anything hetero or cis.
I think it's weird. I think it's very weird. So that's one. So you brought that up, and that got a lot of parents, left, right, middle, doesn't matter where you are, who have kids. They're like, look, I just want my kids to be. I'm not trying to celebrate and force my kids and say, thank God I got a gay kid. I'm so happy. If the kid is gay, he's gay. Not the celebrating the fact that he is gay. Let me help you become even more gay than you are. It's a little weird.
I mean, I've seen gay people hung from cranes in Iran.
Yeah, I lived there 10 years.
I'm saying.
I know. The biggest comedian, they killed him. They cut his dangling off, put it in his mouth.
Is that right?
Yeah, in Germany at a hotel. But so let me go back to...
They cut his dick off
and put it in his mouth.
That's such a mob thing to do.
That isn't. You know who did that? The same people a lot of these guys support with Hamas and the Iran-funded, militias that's being created. They did that to that comedian. There's a lot of vicious things that happened during that. But I want to stay on this topic with you. I'm curious. Because I think you were one of the most necessary voices the last 3 years. And I said this in a video earlier.
Well,
we talk about it on the podcast all the time. I put you in the camp of you, Rogan. It's like 10 names that I put up. Super necessary because you're not supposed to have the positions that you have. Then you said you sat with Seth MacFarlane. Phenomenal conversation, the one that you had. I watched that one. Then you had Jimmy Kimmel on. I love the fact that he came on the podcast. I applaud him that he came on, and he actually sounded reasonable when you guys were talking. And the COVID vaccine position you took, and you said you took one for the camp, you took one for the team, right?
Took one for the team.
Right, so you took one, so you didn't want to take it for the team.
I mean, that's being a little more charitable than I deserve. I did take one for the team, but I also did it for myself, because if I hadn't have done it, I just could not have lived my life. They wouldn't have let me within 20 feet of the building that I work.
You think that's okay?
No, I don't.
Yeah, but that's the position.
No, I don't. I resent it to this day. But I also, again, believe in some level of compromise. And that was mine.
You ever read the book Power versus Force?
No.
Okay, in this book, Power versus Force, they talk about how there's the lowest level of, consciousness, apathy, guilt, all these things, anger, desire, all this stuff. That's a lower, and then the level you come up is what? Courage. You have the courage to have the conversation, and we have a dispute and disagreement, and we hash it out, right?
Right.
Well, we got the courage to talk about it. You got the courage to have Kid Rock here. You have the courage to have, you've had everybody here. Stephen A. Smith here.
Hitler.
Yeah, you haven't had him yet, but you've had the courage to have a lot of people here, right? That's courage. Then it's acceptance that we're different.
Right.
Then willingness to talk.
Right.
And the ability to reason. And then it goes to love and a few other levels this book talks about.
Yeah.
I think
I see.
If we put levels of consciousness by political party, I think libertarian is probably in the middle. It's kind of like, look, man, do what you want to do. I accept the differences. I'm willing to have it out. But I think the left falls below 200 level of consciousness because it's a lot of force, and we know what's right for you, and you don't. There is no reason on the left.
Oh, sweetheart, you are preaching to the converted here. I'm always bitching about this. I do not.
You're supporting Biden, though.
Of course, because we only get two choices. I mean, what is so hard to understand about bad and worse.
They forced America to take the vaccine, Bill. 70% Americans took the vaccine and they didn't want to take it. A lot of them didn't want to take it.
Wait a second. When did the vaccine come about? Under Biden? No, under Trump.
No, it didn't. It came 2 days after election was over with. 2 days after election was over with, Pfizer announced it was not under Trump.
Oh.
They intentionally kept the vaccine
You're right.
after the election, so they gave the victory to
right. But
Biden.
Trump was not Trump was like, I created the vaccine.
I don't disagree with you. I agree with you. He takes it as a victory. I'm on the same page with you.
Okay,
But there's a difference, though. This is the one difference, Bill.
But I don't
May I say this? May I say this? And then push back. Here's the difference. You know what the difference is? How many times have you heard Trump get on stage and brag about warp speed? We saved 100 million people's lives, right?
Can I just ask you a simple yes or no question?
Yeah.
Not exactly yes or no, but who are you voting for?
I'm voting for whoever allows me to make decisions more and not somebody that decides what's good for me or not.
Bro, we're not in a debate here.
No, the left
I asked you a yes or
the
no.
vaccine.
Wait a second.
The state of California and the industry you're in force you to take the vaccine.
So you don't know who you're voting for?
I'm voting for whoever allows me to have more freedom with the choices I make.
And you don't know that yet?
It's definitely not going to be Biden.
Well, then it would be Trump, wouldn't it?
If it's between the two choices?
What? But look at you.
Are you kidding me? It's not even a close call, by the way.
But the fact that you just can't own it is very weird, man. You know, this like, who are you voting for? Well, the Constitution says it's 2 words, Trump, Biden. I'm voting for Biden. I'm owning that. Do I think he's perfect?
But I don't,
no.
But I don't think it's like that.
Not even,
I don't think it's like that. I don't think it's like that.
Well, just say you're for Trump.
If a person
I don't
watches
dislike you for your. I don't dislike.
Bill, if somebody watches my podcast, they're gonna know who I'm voting for.
Well,
if somebody watches a podcast, they're gonna sit there.
But how odd that you can't just say it then.
Because to me, I'm voting based on values. I'm not voting based on.
Okay, but we know what the values are of Biden and Trump and their policies are. We know everything about them.
The left is about force. The right is about choice. I don't want to be forced to have to do something I don't want to do.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.